All right, and that brings us to Mr. Johnson.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. We are on the record in 2024 TR 541, State of Kansas versus Danny Lewis Johnson. County Attorney Jill Gillette for the state, Mr. Johnson appearing in person and in custody and pro se. Now, Mr. Johnson, I just saw you, I believe, last week, and I order that you be held for a limited time for contempt of court. And then I understand the military put a hold on you. They were having some problems with you cooperating with picture and prints. Are we past that? Did you get your picture and prints taken?
I did not, ma'am,
Why did you not do that?
because I didn't feel like it was, I was here for a criminal offense and there was no jurisdiction for me to get fingerprints and photo, ma'am.
All right, well, you understand that you need to do that. You're probably not going to get released until you do that.
Okay.
But in any event, you're also here today on a new case, and this is 2024 TR 541. You're charged in count 1 with operating a vehicle while displaying an expired or improper license plate on August 13th of 2024. So apparently before you went into custody, the officers saw you driving, and they may even have that on video if you did it around the courthouse. But in any event, that is a misdemeanor. It's called an unclassified misdemeanor. It carries a fine up to $2,500. It carries a sentence of 30 days up to 6 months. Then in count 2, they're saying that you hadn't registered the car, so you were driving without a legal registration. That also is an unclassified misdemeanor is charged. Another $2,500 possible fine and another possible 30 days to 6 months in jail. Now, Mr. Johnson, I can give you a bond on this, but it looks like you want to just keep sitting there because you can't make bond if you won't.
Your Honor, it is my intent. First of all, I'm not here to frustrate or to disrupt your court or to make anything. Just simply understand. That's all I wanted to understand. As far as the plea, as far as the charge of misdemeanor, I'm trying to understand if that's a criminal or civil offense, but I don't want to get into that today. So it is my regard to ask you, Your Honor, and request in regard to the 8th Amendment that Greenwood Court discharge or administrate a fair fine according to the historical data or registration violation in this county. That's all I ask for now. At this point, I don't want to get into whether it's criminal or whether it's whatever. Mm-hmm. But according to the 8th Amendment, I just want a fair fine, as if anybody who was driving a vehicle, given I was not driving my vehicle, of course, you held me in contempt. They brought me up and arrested me in contempt. So I don't know how they got me for operating a vehicle.
Well, they apparently saw you do it on your way into court.
Well, that's I'm not. What I'm saying is it's a burden of proof on the state for that.
Right.
I'm not going to say they saw me. I don't know what they saw, but right. For far as I can notice, when you held me in contempt, they went out and searched my car, which was a violation of my 4th Amendment right. They never issued me a search warrant. They never told me my vehicle was suspected in a crime investigation or any kind of criminal intent or doing anything. So my car was searched. Okay. So when they searched my car, I have multiple witnesses that saw it. When they searched my car, they pulled everything out of my car. And I guess when they didn't find that, then the violation come. I would never issue a citation for the violation. I was just put on lockdown for the last 7 days.
Well, I think you, as I understand it, you were put on lockdown because you wouldn't go through booking and processing. They couldn't get you entered into their system.
No,
But you
well,
refused to get your fingerprints and you refused to uh, get your photograph. And rather than manhandle you and wrestle you and get you to take your pictures and prints, they had to just put you somewhere safe until you would cooperate.
but that
That's
wasn't
what
the
I've
case.
heard. I don't know that for a fact.
Well, if you look at the video, that is inaccurate. When I came in, I was told I was gonna be
Okay, sir, we'll talk about that just a little bit. Do you
okay.
need an attorney to represent you on these
I
charges?
I do not. I just want to, like I asked, I'm just requesting that in regards to the Eighth Amendment, the Greenwood
Right.
Court
Well,
discharge of.
that is not going to be addressed today. Today, I need to know if you want an attorney. You're waiving your right to an attorney. You don't want to hire an attorney. You don't want to apply for court appointed.
So what are the fines, Your Honor?
Well, as I said, each one of these counts carries a maximum possible fine up to $2,500.
Okay,
And each one of them carries a possible jail sentence of 30 days to 6 months, although
okay.
probation is often an option.
Well, I would rather for you to just issue me a fine today. If you issue me a fine, I'll pay the fine.
Well, I cannot guarantee you what your sentence will be. That would be inappropriate to try to give you to negotiate with you and give you a fine before or if you're convicted. Now, maybe if you waived your right to counsel and you wanted to proceed today, I don't know if Ms. Gillette would tell you what her recommendations would be. I'm not bound as a judge to follow the recommendations, but again, typically I do, but I don't have to. Or you can get an attorney that can represent your rights and can help you file these motions or help you weigh your defense and decide how you want to proceed.
Well, all I'm asking, Your Honor, if you get pulled over and you get a
No, we're
speeding
not going
ticket,
to do that, sir. I just need
all
to.
I want to know is the fine. Like normally when you get a ticket or a citation, somebody give you.
Told you that. I've told you that.
Okay.
So which way do you want to go on that? Do you want an attorney or not?
I do not.
Okay. Do you want to sign a written waiver of attorney?
No, I do not.
All right. But for the record, you do not want an attorney.
I do not.
And no one's making you give up your right to an attorney?
No.
And you understand that you could apply for court appointed if you cannot afford an attorney.
I do not want an attorney. I understand. I do not want an attorney.
All right. I will show on the record, both in the docket note and journal entries, that you do not want an attorney. You've given up any right to an attorney. You intend to represent yourself on these charges. Is that right?
Possibly, yes.
And you were here last week on speeding 82 and a 65 and no insurance. Are you waiving your right to an attorney on those charges in 2024 TR 22 as well?
No, I'll answer that when I go to court on the 27th. I think you scheduled a court hearing for the 27th.
I did, and I am going to set this case today on the 27th at 9 a.m. as well. So both cases will be set September 27th, 2024 at 9 a.m. You've waived your right to attorney, at least on this case. I'd have to review the record to see if you did last week or not. But like you said, we can revisit that at your next court date. Ms. Gillette, in all of that confusion last week, did we set a bond in the other case? You can check those. If you don't have that handy, I can check the record.
Judge, he had
Yeah,
a warrant for failure to appear for $1,000 cash surety. So he actually had
I paid the $1,000.
Sure.
a cash of $1,000. It is a cash bond that the court is holding of $1,000.
All right. Okay. So that charge, you're free to go anytime you want to, as long as you go through the booking process. You've already, I would consider, even though the jail doesn't show you as being processed because you refuse to cooperate with the processing, which means fingerprints, pictures, signing a bond, I would consider you having satisfied your contempt. I think you've served enough time, far more than I intended for you to. It's been a week now, but you're going to have to go through the booking process. And then I don't know what the military's intention is, but I understand, is it your understanding they have a hold on you, sir?
They always put a hold on, everything. Anytime a soldier get picked up, they put a hold for pickup.
Okay. So, and I don't know if they'll go along with, I don't know if it's a game you're playing or what you're doing, where you think that you won't have to respond if you won't be booked, but at some point.
Oh, I'll be here, Your Honor. I mean, even for the 13, I had to let my command know that I had a court hearing, and I showed up. I'm not a person that want to run from the law. I ain't got time to be running. I face whatever before me, and that's just who I am.
All right.
So I have no. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. You go ahead.
I have no intent of trying to hide from this challenge, because all it is a challenge. You know,
Sure.
I didn't see it going to this extent as being registration violation. If you're gonna give me a registration violation, give me a fine, then I pay the fine, and I'm okay with that. And I had to deal with that from a different aspect. But at the same time, it's just like they gave me a fine for speeding. You gave me a fine to pay, I was gonna pay the fine and just let it be. But at the same time, it's like, okay, now I got a registration with violation. Give me the fine. Give me the fine. I pay the fine. The military picked me up. I deal with that. They don't tow my car. So I really need to get out of here, Detroit, because if I don't get out of here, they're gonna sell my car.
Well, you go and get your picture and prints taken, sign your new bond, and you can go on my counts, on my charges. Now, I don't know, you know, you're still gonna have to deal with.
Well, I know if you release me, the military are gonna pick me up. I understand that.
And are you not wanting to be picked up? Is that why you're refusing?
No. That's the only way I'm gonna get out of here.
All right.
No, I'm not running for nobody.
All right, then you get in there and let that officer get your picture and prints taken. I'm gonna order that you do that, and if you don't, then we're gonna have to do more.
If you saying I could leave, fingerprint, and that's what I asked them last week. Would I be able to leave if I give y'all fingerprints and photos? They told me no.
Because you've got that military hold.
And I was fine with that, but I was asking about that, Your Honor. I'm not trying to drag this along, but I asked them about that. Is the military going to be allowed to come pick me up? And they told me, no, I won't be able to leave until I come before you. So
I wait to take care of your charges here before you go. That's
okay.
All right.
I will allow them to fingerprint me and take a photo. And if you saying I could be released.
On both cases. Well, you've served your contempt, and that's what I sent you into jail for. Now I'll give you a bond, and you're going to have to post the bond in the new case. Ms. Gillette, any recommendations on that bond? 2 counts of registration.
Judge, they're both unclassified misdemeanors. He's also got some other potential charges for the disruption in court that I am reviewing. And that's the other issue that I've got.
Okay, so there may be another issue, Mr. Johnson, but I'm going to set it at a $500 bond. You can either post cash or work with a bondsman.
I got cash. If I could put it on my card, I got cash.
All right. I don't know what the rules and procedures are, but $500 cash bond. It's 2 counts of registration. I think that's appropriate. And then if you make those 2 bonds and there aren't any other charges against you through Greenwood County, then I will see you in court on the 27th.
Well, man, how would what I don't want to happen is I go out here and post, and then all of a sudden there's another charge. Then I'm stuck here for another 7 days to see you. So I just want to give y'all what y'all need so I can get out of here and have my day in court. That's all I want.
Well, I think an attorney could help you immensely accomplish your goals, but you don't want an attorney to help you, so.
No.
All right, well, I think,
I just, like I said, I'm okay with doing the fingerprints, doing the photos, paying the $500 bond, and being released to the military.
okay,
And I guess at that point, I'll see you again on the 27th.
all right. Yeah, I just don't want the military to take you away from me though, and not let me get you back for a while. That wouldn't be any good, but that's what I told you.
No, they're not
That's
gonna
what I
do
told
that.
you to, and that's what I'm sticking to. But now I can't tell you, if Miss Gillette has a job to do, and if she has other violations and she charges them, I can't help that. I'll have to call you back in on new charges. But that's what I'm telling you right now concerning the two cases I've seen you on.
Okay.
All right. Anything further, Miss Gillette?
Right now.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Johnson?
No, just want to get out of here and go handle my other affairs that I got.
Understood. All right. Thank you, sir. We're in recess.